Okay, so welcome to a new project I'm working on, Mountain Planet Coaster, which I don't understand why you would expect me to be doing Planet Coaster at this point, since I've only done one Planet Coaster video, but I do plan on playing more Planet Coaster. I just needed to figure out a little bit more with my editing software, and that brings me to this new game that I got really intrigued by, so I'm going to probably focus on this a little bit more. I still plan on playing some more Planet Coaster, but I will be playing this game, which is called Townscaper. It's pretty new. It is something that I really is right up my alley. I really love these sandbox games, and this is something that's a little bit more simple than Planet Coaster, which is the sandbox game that I really focus on. This is really just a point-and-click game. You get a blank map, which I lost the setup for. You'll see that when this starts, there's already some land already built up, and I'm adding on to that. But you really only missed about like 2 minutes of me doing that. It does not take long. It's really easy to do. So basically, you just get a blank map, and then you scroll over to the cursor, which has the highlights the square, and you just click. It builds up. It's really simple, but you can sort of manipulate things by clicking the different colors of the building, and then, as you can see, I click to the side, so it sort of connects the buildings there and creates a little cool little bridge. You have these little cobblestone paths. I'm not sure if they're cobblestone, but there's some sort of brick, and they're really cool. So the idea, I think, is just to just see what you can do with these things. I'm not necessarily going to have a plan for this project. This is really just going to be more of a relaxing project. I think my hope for this one is to just kind of not do anything thought out or extravagant. I think it's really just going to be let the mind evolve it and let it flow to where it's going to go. So you can see I built that, but my general idea is I'm going to have like a sort of a big patch of land, and I'm going to build that up, and then I'm going to sort of spread it out. You can see the sort of little tiny paths that go out, and the majority of this episode is actually going to focus on the stuff that goes outward like that. So I'm going to be building that one out, and you got a little bridge there, and I focus on, I actually sort of build just a little spire here, but this is actually just kind of a little mini island that ends up connecting to an even bigger island, which we'll spend the majority of this episode on, is that. So what I'll do here is I will just spend the majority of the episode out on this other big island. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. My neighbor is practicing his trumpet. Or I don't know if it's a girl, it could be a woman. He or she, they like to play trumpet a lot, and apparently the walls in this apartment are very thin, so I don't really, I get to hear them a lot, and I don't know if you can hear it. I'm hoping not. I think this microphone is good enough, but I'm hoping that you can just get by and enjoy this and not hear the trumpet in the background. But anyway, sorry, back on track here. So anyway, so I've got, so I'm starting to build out the base of the bigger little islands. You can see I had these little pathways out there. I'll probably go through and connect them, but again, I'm not in any kind of hurry. I'm not going to do anything by any kind of set schedule. My plan right now is to just kind of build out, and I'll build whenever I can. I'll probably do it a little more frequently than anything else. And the whole point of this is to kind of get better with this video editing software that I bought. I'm not loving it so much. I was having trouble with my Planet Coaster video, which I put out, the footage was really, it got really choppy, and every time it would sort of glitch, it would then back up about a half a second, so you'd almost have like a moment of deja vu. You'd almost like see me do the same move like twice, and so it really kind of, it messed with me as I was watching the footage. So I was hoping to figure out how to solve the problem. I think what it was is I was converting the footage from an MOV file to an MP4 file, and I think that sort of caused some sort of a miscommunication with my software and the footage. I could be wrong. I don't think I've seen seen it happen here. I may have seen a little bit of glitching, but I have not seen the deja vu, as I'm calling it. So I really hope I have not caused any. Sorry, my phone went off. I'm going to go ahead and leave that in there so you can sort of get a behind the scenes look at things. But I really haven't seen any of that. So if anybody's watching this, not that there's really anybody watching, I doubt anybody is. I have a channel that only has like 3 videos on it, so I doubt you're watching this. But if you are, let me know if you do see that moment of what I'm calling deja vu. I'm going to try to figure out what is going on, and if you do see it and you know what's going on, well, for heaven's sakes, tell me about it and let me know. So just a little bit about what I'm doing here. As you can see, I'm building this base up, and my goal is to sort of like avoid those, as I was building it up, to avoid those moments where you could see the roof on it, so you could I would manipulate it. I think I've got some of it figured out where now you can just see the cobblestone on the side there, but I also want to avoid these parts where you can see the little metal support beam that is on the side there. That doesn't quite fit in aesthetically for what I want to see out of this, so I am building up. There you go. So you'll see I'll build up a little spire to close that up. But then I ran into the problem of a little roof popping up, so I'm trying to figure out how to fix that. I don't think I actually did. I think I just sort of cut my losses with it. I kind of wanted one to go circle around, but I think it just sort of ended up just saying, nah, forget it. It looks good enough. So I popped up there you go. Popped up some more expansion to it. I kind of figured out like what I like to do is I like to build little connection paths between the buildings. I always think that's really cool. So if you look at that building that's above you there at the top, the little blue building, you can see, you can almost imagine going inside that building and then going up a spiral staircase and then going across that little bridge there, and then maybe even like peeking out and looking out into the vast emptiness that is the ocean, because this imaginary world that you live in here is apparently doesn't have any other connecting land. You're just on a floating rock, I guess. And it's not really a rock, it's some sort of man-made structure that's in the middle of the ocean. Who knows where it's at? But anyway, so yeah, this is I lost my train of thought. I'm really good at that. It's probably not a good idea to be doing voiceover work on what I'm talking about, because I forget what I'm talking about. That's okay. This is not really for anything other than therapy for me. I like this game speaks to me as a way to relax. I sometimes when I get off work, I like to just plug in the computer and play Planet Coaster. I like to just build in Planet Coaster because it helps me relax, and this is also a game that looks like is just what the doctor ordered. It's really going to help me just sort of zone out, and I think that's going to be very helpful. I just don't want to think about things so much. So as you can see, there was a moment of deja vu. So maybe it's not the conversion of the MP4, or sorry, the MOV to the MP4. So maybe that's not what it is. But there's been far less. There's only been one instance that I've seen of the deja vu. So maybe we're getting better at it. I don't know. Let's do some more research. In the meantime, hopefully we can not see so many more instances of it, and we can get through. I started using some screen recording. I'm using a different software than I did for the Planet Coaster video as well. So that also, I think, has been what's helpful for it. But it may also be in the rendering process is where the glitchy is coming from. Ooh, there was a deja vu moment. But I think it could be that. I think it could be the rendering process, and then I think it could be I hope it's not the software, because I'm not using. I don't want to name drop things in case I get like any kind of copyrights or anything like that. That's not something I really want to mess around with. But I hope it's not the software I'm using. I hope it's really something to do with the screen recording. I also noticed that it was pretty clean before I sped up the footage, and I think maybe the speeding up the footage may also have something to do with it too. But I'm just trying to figure out what it is on the fly. But we are coming up to the end of this episode here. There's really not much more I do with this. pause there. Yeah, so there's really not much more I do with this. I really just end up building out a little bit more buildings here. I don't think I connect these ones. I think maybe I thought about connecting them. I don't think I did. But yeah, I do try to work on it. But then there's that one little star-shaped. Oh yeah, what did I do? Do I end up deleting that? Sorry, I recorded this about a week ago, so I'm trying to remember what I ended up doing with these as well. I think I end up keeping that. There we go. Yeah, I do connect it there, so it looks a little bit better. But I do want to build. I think I build something up there. There we go. To sort of build up a spire that does not have that ugly metal support system. But then I think the rest of this is really just me building out another patch of land over to the left. And I think that's about it. But anyway, yeah, I should be able to pump these out a little bit or more frequently since this game is really simple, and we should be able to get a little bit more progress in the footage. So yeah, so that's the whole point, is to just build this out, don't have any plans, and to just really kind of go with the flow, so to speak. So yeah, I think that's about it. And so I guess I will leave you guys with it. Hopefully this background music is comforting enough, but yeah, that's about it.